Financial wellness. Reach out to them for advice at 855-DON-GINO. And now back to your hosts, Don Getling and Gino Franti.
Well, Don Getling and Gino Franti here on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS, for the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show. I want to thank you for joining us every Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. And we actually know that some of you listen. It was awesome. We had Mark Figueroa with Green Convergence, Solar Energy, and solar is one of the hottest topics right now. And it was really nice. Our show is always about education. It's not about selling. We don't have any ads. We don't do that. When for 4.5 years, we haven't had an ad. All they do is talk about educating. And Mark Figueroa with SunPower Green Convergence, located right out here for 8 years, did an incredible job of breaking down the differences between one solar company and another solar company. And he got some interviews from our show. So thank you for listening. We really appreciate it. And you need to listen today because we have another one of our favorite hosts now for 3 or 4 years now, Chris Ingram with Ingram Financial Solutions. Come join us in the vault by going to donandgino.com, DONANDGINO.com. Click on the live streaming button, and voila, you'll enter the vault. You see our very good-looking Chris Ingram here and very knowledgeable about so many topics. And today we're talking about 401k's.
Wow, dude, you just let me go on break.
I know. It's better that way.
Oh, nice. Don's coming
we'll let
back.
You talk the second half of the
Don's
show.
coming back just a little spicy from his vacation.
Yeah, give me a vacation. I got a little bit more energy.
Yeah.
All right, Chris. So we were talking about some of the advantages of a smaller employer having a 401k. They don't think about it, like Gino said. They think about it's just going to be costly. I don't want to have the hassle of it. And you gave us so many tax benefits and really income benefits to them to be able to put money aside, tax deferred themselves. And then on top of it, we were just starting to touch on the piece about once you have a 401k for your employees or trying to hire to your company, the loyalty and longevity piece of it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let me touch on one thing I failed to mention in the last half, and that's payroll taxes.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if your employees are contributing to the 401k, you have a reduction in the amount of payroll that's going out, and payroll taxes potentially get reduced, and it's another benefit that goes back to the employer. So, and that's something that nobody talks about. It really is that people talk about the deduction for the matching contribution and what you get to put into the 401k. Some of those things are frequently discussed, but the reduction in payroll taxes is something I rarely hear anybody mention.
You know what's great about that is you compile that with the matching, right? Because the more matching you give, the more likely that your employees are to put money in, which means you'll reduce
Absolutely.
your payroll tax more. And if
Right.
I'm not mistaken, I think payroll tax is like 10%. So it could
It's
be
high.
cheaper to match your employees' contributions.
Definitely,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Fantastic. That's a
huge
big
benefit,
tip.
huge benefit. That and when an employer comes to us, we run a calculation to try and figure out the pros and cons of moving forward with a plan.
I love that.
And really put it down on paper so they can see what is it going to cost them, what are the benefits going to be. And I've seen these calculations done by others, and the payroll taxes is always the piece that's left out.
That's
it's
a big piece.
The
And
forgotten
I love that
benefit.
you do a total benefit analysis like we do.
Yeah.
We call it total cost analysis. And it's so much easier because numbers don't lie.
Right.
Once you put the numbers out there, you go, see, here's what we're talking about. Just yapping and trying to sell something. You're not selling anything.
Mm-mm.
You're actually bringing a benefit to them, laying them out in black and white. And you can lay out, we just talked about, 7, 8 pros and really no cons to it, and not only the cons they had in their head to where they can give a definite benefit to themselves and their employees by having a 401k plan.
Sounds like
Right.
almost everything else, just lack of education out there.
Yeah, and to touch on what you're saying, when I run an analysis, there are times where I run the analysis and go, this is too costly for you and probably not the best thing for you. So it happens.
Mm-hmm. It happens, yeah.
The problem is that the majority of times that's not the case. But the good news is we're going to show you one way or the other whether it's a benefit for you.
It's always better to know than to just wonder.
Love
Yeah.
making educated decisions.
Definitely.
It's really nice. And if you're just tuned in, you're here with the Don and Gino Real Estate and Financial every Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. And we're here with Chris Ingram, Ingram Financial Solutions, one of the top financial planners in town and part of our America's Professional Resource Group. You can always find out more at aprgi.com. And also, Chris, how can they get a hold of you?
Best way is to look me up online, www.ingramfinancialsolutions.com, or you can give me a ring at 661-255-9555, extension 116.
Located right off of Valencia Boulevard.
So, I'm really excited about what you're going to talk about because I was self-employed for a really long time, and I know that the number one failure as a self-employed individual is probably not putting away for retirement.
Right.
And I think we're going to talk about a vehicle now that's a functional vehicle that works, that will actually help business owners do what they know they're supposed to, but they don't.
Right. Solo 401k's. And not a lot of people talk about them. Not a lot of people understand them, and most self-employed individuals don't know they exist. But really, what they are, it's a 401k plan for an individual who has no employees. Okay, and the benefit is you get two contributions to the plan. You get your deferral, similar to a traditional 401k, so $18,000 if you're under age 50, $24,000 if you're over the age of 50. And you get a profit-sharing contribution that the company gets to put away for your benefit into the plan. The combination of that can be anywhere up to $53,000 if you're under the age of 50, and $59,000 if you're over the age of 50. Yes, and so you get to potentially put $53,000 away tax deferred. Huge tax savings.
Huge.
Or $59,000 a year tax deferred if you're over the age of 50. And better yet, if you have a spouse that you can show works for the company, you can now do it for both of you. So if you're doing it for a husband and wife at the company, potentially you just put away $106,000 up to, $118,000
of your income tax deferred.
Of your income tax deferred. So
wow.
if there's an individual who has no employees that's making a lot of money and trying to find a way to A, shelter some of that from the IRS, and B, put some money away for their future, the solo 401k is outstanding, because the next thing is unlike a traditional 401k where it's in a plan, you have 20 mutual funds to choose from, whatever it may be. A solo 401k, you open an account and sky's the limit. You can invest that money pretty much however you want to. Stocks, bonds, mutual funds, ETFs,
so you
whatever
have more
it may be.
control over it too.
Ton of control.
What a great vehicle. I mean,
wow,
you know,
that's good stuff. I hope you heard this. Sorry, I have to throw out Chris's info on that, because a lot of self-employed people are going, what?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I've been self-employed most of my life. Again, reach out to Chris Ingram with Ingram Financial Solutions. Easiest way to get a hold of you, I think you got a great website, ingramfinancialsolutions.com.
Yeah, look me up there. It's got my phone number, address, all my information. The best way to contact me.
What an amazing tool. I'm thinking of people in the entertainment industry, right? Because people in the entertainment industry are quasi-self-employed. They make a lot of money. They're quasi-self-employed. They've got Schedule C's on their tax return, which is probably the requirement. They don't have employees.
Right.
And they very well could have their spouse working for them. So brilliant.
Yep. And there's a lot of them. I mean, just people that have independent contractors working for them, so they're 1099ing everybody. And
there's still no
you'd be
employees.
surprised how many people qualify for that out there, and they just majority of them have no clue. Honestly, there's a lot of accountants that I talk to that don't fully understand the profit sharing component and how it works. It is unfortunate,
because that should be a strategy put forth for them, and saying, here, what's legally tax defer a lot of your income and stuff, because it's really hard to shelter, and this is a good way to do it legally, and a good portion. I didn't know. I mean, we're talking over $50,000 or over $100,000 if your spouse works for your company.
No, and I really like the fact that it's wide open, that you can make the investments you want, because you're right. With the traditional 401k, you're kind of limited, right? If your company chose that it's going to go with these three companies and these three funds, it's relatively safe, right? It's fairly, I think 401k investing is super conservative.
Right.
It's not very aggressive at all.
Right. But now you've got stocks, bonds, you've got alternative investments, real estate. There's so many things you can now fit into that solo 401k as far as investments are concerned.
Really?
Sky's the limit.
And working with a financial planner like Chris Ingram, I have to say what's nice is being able to work side by side with a financial planner is so much different than just, I don't know, my funds are somewhere. You're just not connected to it. You don't care about it. You're not excited about it. But now that you and I and Gino and you work together, it's exciting. I pay attention. I can't wait to put more in because I'm involved. I get to watch what's going on with my funds. I get to watch what's going on with my stocks and all that. I'm now a contributing factor in it, and it's so much more fun, and it gets me more excited about it. So
yeah, I met with a couple this morning, and I asked them if they had a financial planner, and they said, yeah, we've been working with someone, yada yada. And she goes, but I haven't talked to them much.
Yeah.
And I go, well, how long ago when was the last time you reviewed your account? They're like, I don't know, maybe 3 years ago. I go, poor planning. I said, let me give you Chris's number.
Yeah, I mean, I love getting a call on my vacation going, Don, I know you heard about the stock market tanking, but this is an opportunity. Can we do this and this and this with a fund? I'm like, go to it. Yeah, okay, good. So it's nice working with somebody like you. Again, Chris Ingram with Ingram Financial Solutions. Best way to reach out to him is go to ingramfinancialsolutions.com. Thanks again, Chris. Always great information.
Thanks
buddy.
for having me on the show. Love being here.
Really
Always,
appreciate it.
yeah.
Solo 401k. I'm going to talk about that now.
Yeah, and if you want to find out more, go to also America's Professional Resources, aprgi.com. Thank you very much. Don't go away. We got a second half of the show. Always great information coming from Don and Gino and the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show.